Hello, my name is Gal Khana, and I'm Israeli Consul of Tourism for Canada. Today, I'm here to tell you the story of the world's biggest museum, the Live Museum, Israel, that some of you know that as the Holy Land. The pandemic, COVID-19, teaches us many things, and one of them is that life is short and you need to make every second matter. The values of visiting Israel are numerous. Iconic holy sites to make the trip unforgettable. Great beaches to utilize the weather. We have 4 beaches, the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, the Mediterranean, and of course the Sea of Galilee. Diverse culinary scene. One-of-a-kind experiences like the kibbutz, Dead Sea, UNESCO sites, and more. And this is what makes Israel so unique. The combination of landscape, rich history, and culture within a small area. Now, for a Canadian, it's hard to comprehend the size of Israel. Imagine living in a country in the size of Lake Ontario, where you can go from one place to the other within a couple of hours. No flights needed, covers such diverse landscape in a short time. Tel Aviv, the Galilee, the Dead Sea, and Jerusalem are within a couple of hours drive from one each other. In Israel, you are commuting between all of the different sites. Israel is the kind of place where you visit, enjoy, and indulge every second. And more important than that, it lasts you for a lifetime. In Israel, when you are coming back, the journey only begins, because then you can really comprehend what you've been through. The holy sites to change your perspective of life, to see where your ancient ancestors walked into, and to practice and your belief, whether if you are a Christian, whether if you are a Jewish or a Muslim, you will find something that will change your perspective of life. Where else in the world you can walk in the footsteps of Jesus in the Via della Rosa in the morning and party in a high-end new vibe nightclub in Tel Aviv in the afternoon, where you can eat the authentic traditional family secret recipe hummus for lunch and to have a French-styled perfect molecular creme brulee for dessert, where history meets modernity, where East meets West, where mystery always surrounds you. I will share with you and my colleagues in Naftali Tools will share with you today photos and images from all over Israel to show you how a magnificent opportunity you will have to capture the best trip and journey of your lifetime. I encourage you to further explore Israel virtually and later on actually visit in Israel. And of course, you are more than welcome to reach out to us in the Israeli Ministry of Tourism here in Canada. Our office is in Toronto, but we are reaching out to everyone all across Canada. For further information, we are in our website is israel.travel, and you are more than welcome to reach out to us. So thank you very much and enjoy the show.
Hello everybody,
My name is Naftali.
and my name is Dina,
We are from Naftali Tours in Tel Aviv.
and we are members of the Israel Incoming Tour Operator Association.
We specialize in customized boutique-style tours for group travel to Israel.
And Jordan.
We want to now take you on a journey through the Holy Land in an effort to visualize what a Christian or Protestant pilgrimage to the Holy Land might look like. Let us start by telling you a bit about Israel.
Israel is a fascinating country, a holy land to billions of people and the world's 3 major monotheistic faiths, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam.
If you look at a map of the world, you'll see Israel smack bang in the middle, on the cusp of Asia, Europe, and Africa. And in the heart of Israel, you will find Jerusalem, literally the geographic center of the world.
Israel is truly an ancient kingdom. King Solomon built the temple in Jerusalem in 1000 BC, where you can see remains from the first temple period today, more than 3,000 years later.
Israel is also an ultra-modern country with modern infrastructure. New airports, light rail, modern hotels and transport. I've had customers tell me they imagine the whole country to be like the old city of Jerusalem, with stone houses and narrow laneways with camels going up and down.
It's not like this everywhere.
Okay, well, while you will get plenty of that in places such as Jerusalem and Bethlehem, you'll also enjoy all the comforts of modern coach travel and air-conditioned hotels.
And Wi-Fi. Israel is a tiny country, approximately 22,000 square kilometers. Here you can see Israel compared to New Zealand,
UK,
Australia,
and Canada.
but it's the only country that I know of that you can swim the famous 4 seas in one visit.
The Med Sea,
The Dead Sea
the Red Sea.
and the Sea of Galilee.
It's also a country of incredible variety in landscape and geography, alpine, desert, and tropical, all in a very small geographical area. Where else in the world could you ski the slopes of Mount Hermon in the morning and sunbathe and water ski in Eilat in the afternoon?
Israel is the birthplace of the Bible, both the Old and New Testament. This is the place where all happened. Here you will see and touch and feel the very places that you only ever read about.
You'll visit the Garden Tomb in Jerusalem, sail the Sea of Galilee in an ancient wooden fishing boat.
And visit the ancient port of Jaffa.
So let's start our 8-day journey of the Holy Land. Day 1.
You should spend some time in the modern metropolis of Tel Aviv, Israel's business and entertainment capital. With its miles of Mediterranean beaches, cycling paths, and world-quality shops and restaurants. You can also spend a day wandering through the ancient city of Jaffa, flea markets, and artist quarters.
Travel along the shimmering Mediterranean coast to Caesarea to see the amphitheatre and hippodrome built by King Herod and named to impress his Caesar.
On to Haifa and the Persian gardens and Temple of the Baha'i, one of the true wonders of the modern world.
Next, on to Tiberias and the Sea of Galilee. Stand amongst the beautiful manicured gardens atop the Mount of Beatitudes overlooking the stunning views of the lake and understand why this was the place where the Sermon on the Mount took place.
Days 2 and 3.
See the ancient synagogue in Capernaum, where Jesus would give his sermons, and visit the house of St. Peter.
Visit the source of the Jordan River at Caesarea of Philippi. It's also known as Banias Falls, coming from the ancient name of Pan, where you can still see a Roman temple to the god today.
Visit the site of the baptism on the Jordan River, where you may even have an opportunity to hire some robes and do a baptism as well.
Here it's worth mentioning the unique Israeli phenomenon of the kibbutz and the kibbutz hotels.
Kibbutzes were communal agricultural villages built all around the northern fertile part of the country in the early days of pre-state Israel. Really the only pure form of socialism that ever existed in the world, buildings and farmland were owned by the community, who committed to look after all its members' needs, including clothing, feeding, and the education of members and their families.
Today, many of these farms and villages have been turned into hotels and tourist resorts, a completely different experience from staying in a city hotel. Here you can stay in cottages, set in gardens and a friendly country atmosphere, and enjoy a famous Israeli breakfast.
They're so big you won't be hungry until dinner time. It's a uniquely Israeli experience. We try and incorporate the kibbutz stay in all of our tours.
Day 4.
Today, we visit the lowest place on earth, the Dead Sea, sitting 400 meters below sea level. The saltwater lake is so thick with salt and minerals that you literally float on top of the water.
And it's a tradition taking a picture with you reading a newspaper while you float on the top of the water.
Here you can also explore the magnificent mountain-top fortress of Masada, where King Herod built a palace. Hear the stories of the Jewish zealots who held out on top of the mountain against the might of the Roman army for 3 years.
We're going to spend the next 4 days exploring in and around Jerusalem.
Stand atop the Mount of Olives and overlook the Temple Mount.
Walk the ancient Cardo through the heart of the city, where you can shop today exactly as they would have during Roman times.
Place a note with your most fervent wish in the Western Wall, the last remnant of the temple and the most holy place for the Jewish people. Who knows, your prayers may be answered. A must-see is the Israel Museum and its most important and famous wing, the Shrine of the Book. Here, a special building was constructed to house the precious Dead Sea Scrolls. The building is designed to resemble the ancient clay pots in which the manuscripts were found.
You can also experience a moving visit to the Yad Vashem Holocaust Memorial and visit the famous children's exhibition.
Don't forget some shopping opportunities as well, strolling through the oriental souks or markets of the old city with its spices and sweets and beautiful pottery pieces and olive wood products.
Naftali, what can we do if we have more time for travel?
How about the resort city of Eilat on the Red Sea in the very south of the country? The Riviera of Israel, where you can snorkel the magnificent Red Sea corals. You can take a short 45-minute flight from Tel Aviv, or even better, we can arrange a tour through the desert. Here you can experience genuine Bedouin hospitality and stay overnight in a Bedouin tent.
And what about Jordan and Egypt? Well, what many people don't realize is how easy it is to cross borders between the countries of Israel, Jordan, and Egypt. Smooth border crossing and short travel distances make it easy to combine tours of the countries via land without the need for additional flights. On a short journey from Israel, we can take you to see Petra in Jordan or the pyramids in Giza.
So this is what we can do and see in a one-week tour.
Travel tips.
Often visits to holy sites require modest dress, such as covered shoulders and knees. Your customers won't be caught out. They'll be warned well in advance if this will be required.
And when is it a good time to travel, Naftali?
Weather in Israel is mild to warm. Forget imagining the Sahara Desert. July and August are the hottest months of the year, with temperatures in the mid-30s. The best time of year to come is autumn and spring, where you'll be averaging temperatures in the mid-20s. Very pleasant, not at all too hot.
Winter is an excellent time of year to travel. Tel Aviv temperatures in the mid to high teens. In Jerusalem at 900 meters above sea level is pleasantly cool.
Safety is one aspect I'd like to touch on as well. Many of you may be concerned about traveling to Israel because of safety. I'm here to say to you, come. You will feel perfectly safe and secure throughout your visit. I can tell you that everybody comes back surprised at how normal a country we really are. Not at all what they may have perceived from media coverage of Israel. Israelis take their security and the security of tourists very, very seriously. In fact, Israel's security record for tourists is amazing. 2 tourist fatalities in the last 20 years means that Israel is one of the safest locations in the world to travel. In short, we'd like to summarize our talk as follows.
Come to Israel for experience of a lifetime.
All of the places you only read about, you will experience firsthand, and the magic of the country.
The friendly locals who just want to practice their English on you.
The very ancient mixed in with the very modern.
A land touched by God, where the Bible comes to life.
The time to visit is now.
Contact us if you need a quote, travel advice, webinar, or product training. I'm Dina.
I'm Naftali.
You can find our details below.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.